Good morning and welcome to Face the Nation. I'm Nancy Cordes. We've got a lot of news to get to today, but we're going to begin with those students at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. They're channeling their anguish into what they hope will be a new national movement. They rallied yesterday just a few miles from the scene of the massacre that took 17 lives. We spoke with 5 of them just moments ago.
We're going to be doing a march in March on Washington. Students all over the country are going to be joining us because the adults have let us down. The people that we put into power who should be working for us, they have us working for them. And that's pitiful. That's pathetic. And we have to do the dirty work here, and we're going to do the dirty work. We are going to shoulder this heavy burden, and we are going to do it well.
From here on, we are creating a badge of shame for any politicians who are accepting money from the NRA. It is a special interest group that has most certainly not our best interests in mind, and this cannot be the normal. This can be changed, and it will be changed. And anybody who tells you that it can't is buying into the facade that's being created by the people who have our blood on.
Joining me now are 5 students from Parkland, Florida, who attend Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. They are David Hogg, Alex Wind, and Emma Gonzalez, plus Cameron Caskey and Jacqueline Corin. Thanks so much to all of you for joining me. And Cameron, I'll start with you. You say the adults have let you down.
Well, the adults in office have let us down, absolutely. And fortunately, we have a lot of support from the older generations here. But what we're trying to do here at March for Our Lives is say, the adult politicians have been playing around while my generation has been losing our lives. If you see how they treat each other in the office, if you see the nasty, dirty things going on with them, it's sad to think that that's what they're doing while 17 people are being slaughtered and gunned down only yards away from where we're sitting right now. And March for Our Lives has support from everybody. And at the end of the day, this isn't a red and blue thing. This isn't Democrats and Republicans. This is about everybody and how we are begging for our lives and we are getting support, but we need to make real change here, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
So, Emma, what is the plan? You say you want to spark a national movement. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to actually make it happen. What are you going to do?
Well, what we have set up right now, we have a website, March for Our Lives. We're going to be doing a march in March on Washington where we get students all over the country are going to be joining us. These kids are going to make this difference because the adults let us down. And at this point, I don't even know if the adults in power who are funded by the NRA, I don't even think we need them anymore because they're going to be gone by midterm election. There's barely any time for them to save their skins, and if they don't turn around right now and state their open support for this movement, they're going to be left behind because you are either with us or against us at this point.
We are giving a lot of the politicians that we feel neglected by a clean slate because that's the past, and we understand that. But from here on, we are creating a badge of shame for any politicians who are accepting money from the NRA. It is a special interest group that has most certainly not our best interests in mind, and this cannot be the normal. This can be changed, and it will be changed. And anybody who tells you that it can't is buying into the facade that's being created by the people who have our blood on their hands.
David, a lot of people saw the reporting that you did from inside the school while the shooting was taking place, and I'm truly sorry that all of you had to live through that. But I want to read to you what President Trump said last night. He said that it's actually the Democrats that have let you down because they didn't pass legislation when they controlled Congress. Does he have a point?
President Trump, you control the House of Representatives, you control the Senate, and you control the executive. You haven't taken a single bill for mental health care or gun control and passed it. And that's pathetic. We've seen a government shutdown. We've seen tax reform, but nothing to save our children's lives. Are you kidding me? You think now is the time to focus on the past and not the future to prevent the death of thousands of other children? You sicken me.
So what kinds of laws do all of you think should be on the books that aren't right now?
Well, what I think needs to be on the books right now that isn't is literally any law that's from either side of the political spectrum. If you're a Republican that supports mental health care, we want you out there making your voice heard, because that's just as important as gun control or gun safety laws at this point. Because Democrats also want gun safety rules, and we can't get into any more debates. We need discussion. We've had the debates, and people have died as a result. Children have died and will continue to if we don't stop now and look at both sides of this, because we can't wait around any longer. Children are dying as a result, and we need to take action. And I call on President Trump and the Republican-controlled House and Senate and executive branch to work together, get some bills passed, and stop taking money from the NRA, because children are dying, and so is the future of America as a result.
And I just want to say something I've heard a lot is the word gun rights. And that has the connotation that we are trying to strip people of their rights. Well, first of all, we have the right to live. And second of all, here at March for Our Lives, at least for me, we don't want to take the guns away from Americans. My father is a police officer, he has guns, and I understand that having concealed weapons is good for protecting yourself. But an AR-15 is not needed to protect your house from robbers. It's not needed to hunt bears. An AR-15 is a weapon of war, and a 19-year-old who is mentally challenged and has problems was able to buy an AR-15 easily. We don't want to disarm America. We want to make America have to work for their weapons, and we have to make sure that everybody who has this kind of power in their hands has been cleared to have it. Because if Nicholas Cruz had gone through 5 minutes with any medical professional, they would have said, this person does not need an AR-15, this person needs a counselor. And 17 people would not have needed graves.
Alex, your own Senator Marco Rubio says that more gun laws won't do anything, that anyone who wants to commit violence is going to find a way to get a gun.
If you think that, Senator Rubio, then change the way it's easier to get a gun, okay? If you think it's too easy to get a gun, do something about it. Make it not easier to get a gun. March 24th on the March for Our Lives is only the beginning. This is the first march, but I can guarantee it will not be the last. We will be marching for the 17 we lost at our school. We will be marching for everyone we lost at the Newtown Sandy Hook shooting, at Columbine, at Virginia Tech, in San Bernardino, Orlando, at the Pulse shooting, and at Las Vegas. This is only the beginning, and March 24th, things are going to change.
It's not our job to tell you, Senator Rubio, how to protect us. The fact that we even have to do this is appalling. Our job is to go to school, learn, and not take a bullet. You need to figure this out. That's why you were unfortunately elected. Your job is to protect us, and our blood is on your hands.
Well, I know that millions of people are watching to see where you take this movement. You've already got tens of thousands of followers online, and we'll be watching to see if you're able to change a pretty entrenched political dynamic here in Washington. Thank you so much to the 5 of you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.